Hi there, Year 5. It's Tuesday and it's our second day of instruction writing, so pause now and get your date and title written in and we'll get started. Okay, a bit of total recall first of all. So we've got nouns and verbs, and we've got a selection of words down here. Some are verbs, some are nouns. I'd like you to pause here and write a list of nouns and a list of verbs, and we'll go through the answers. Okay, let's go through some answers. So jump is a verb. It is a thing you can do. Same with bashed. It's a past tense version of bash. Gorilla is a noun. Obliterate is a verb because you can obliterate something. You can destroy something. It's a great word. Love that word. Lantern. You can light a lantern, but a lantern is a noun. It's a thing. Same with candle. You can light a candle. Carriage. You can carry something, but a carriage is like a horse and carriage, so it's a noun, it's a thing. A stroll is a synonym for walk. Sprint is a synonym for run. Pyramid, you can't pyramid, but you can go to see a pyramid, it's a noun. Okay, so tick or fix your answers if necessary. Right, let's carry on. So today we're actually going to write some instructions. For bronze, I'm looking for you to use a clear layout. So you've got the intro, you've got your ingredients and equipment list, and you've got your method. Okay, and I want you to use those bossy verbs from yesterday. Hopefully we've got a list there ready to use. So our bossy imperative verbs. That's bronze. Once you've done bronze, you can try and achieve silver. So I want you to use frontside verbals with those commas. So like first, next. Once you have mixed everything, comma, you will need those commas after those frontside verbals. Really important. And then clear expert advice. If and then statements kind of are useful for that. So we are the experts in making this instruction, sorry. So we need to pass on that expert advice. That's why we use instructions. Okay, so we are the experts. We need to be the ones in the know. And because they're made up, that's great. We can make up however we want it to be. And then gold, I want you to use some brackets for extra information, for parenthesis, and relative clauses. So using our relative pronouns of who, that, which, and whose. That's the other one. Mine went black. To create some relative clauses to add a bit of extra detail. So gold is extra detail. Okay. So we're going to write one of these two things. We're either going to do our potion recipe or our Charlie and Chocolate Factory inspired recipes. Okay, I'm going to go through an example of one, and I did the potion of invisibility, but you should use the one from yesterday. So some top tips before we get started. Make the reader excited. Really important. It's got to be exciting. It's got to be interesting. Tell them it's amazing. Tell them how much fun they're going to have. Make it interesting. Make it sound easy, so kind of that anybody can do it. Don't kind of put them off by going, oh, only experts can do this. You're not good enough. Make it easy. Use subheadings. Really important. We haven't really spoken about that, but we need to use subheadings. Safety, you might do safety warnings in there, and add top tips section. So I haven't done that on mine, but you might add a top tips section in yours. Okay. So, just on that, make it funny, make it unusual, make it disgusting maybe, magical, wonderful. That's how you're going to have fun with this, okay? And I had fun writing mine, so make sure you're picking kind of a theme to go along with. If it's Harry Potter theme, kind of get it immersed in that world. Same with the Charlie and Chocolate Factory style recipe. Make it sound delicious, make sure you want to have it, okay? We're just going to quickly look through this one again, just to kind of pick up bits we need. We need this intro in ours, and we need subheadings. We're going to have ingredients and equipment lists. Now I'm going to show you mine first. So alongside this one, I looked at this one for some inspiration. I've written mine. So I'm going to show you mine, and then you can get writing yours now. Okay? So, first of all, we need our title of how to make, and then what are you making? Now I've used inspiration from that last example. Okay, so use kind of mine to help you out there. Have you ever dreamt? Have you ever imagined maybe of disappearing or wanted the ability to sneak around undetected? Imagine if you could become invisible. Just think of all the mischief and fun you could get up to if you could vanish. Follow these instructions and you will discover what it's like. Okay, so make it sound interesting, make it sound fun. I want to know, I want to kind of tap into why someone would want to be invisible. Basically, they're up to no good, aren't they? So that's why I've said about it being kind of imagine all the mischief. Whatever your potion is or your sweet treat is, kind of sell it. This is kind of convincing them that they should follow your recipe. Then we want our list of ingredients, and we want our ingredients and equipment. Okay, now with mine, just before you start writing all of yours out, I've left a gap between these and my method. Okay, so once you've written this, leave a few lines between the end of these lists and your method, because actually you might add a few in as you're writing. You might go, oh, because I didn't think of protective gloves until I started writing, okay, or a sharp knife. I didn't put that in my original list. So leave some space in case you need to come back to it. Right, I think it's a good idea now. If you pause here and do your version, okay, use mine as inspiration, as a bit of a waggle, and get going on yours. So pause now and kind of write your version of this. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you've got your introduction, your equipment and your ingredients list. Now we need to move on to the method. Okay, so on the method, let me just go back to my smartboard here. On our method, we want to include our front adverbials for silver, and I've put bronze here for remove. These are imperative verbs, so we need a mixture of imperative verbs, some expert information, advice. I've got in gold here, I've got the relative clause, but this kind of is what we need to include. We definitely need that bossy verb in our method, in our each numbered point. It's got to be in order as well, and we've got our front adverbials. They're really easy actually to get these in at the beginning. So first of all, we're going to write firstly, because then we can start ticking off silver straight away. Okay, so I've used that as inspiration for mine. Okay, so on mine, I'm not going to show you all of mine because I'll show you. I've written quite a lot, and actually I got a bit carried away. So I'm only expecting, if you're really into it, to write this much. Okay, I would say kind of minimum for your method, I would say about 6 steps. Okay, minimum 6 steps. I've done 9 in mine. You might want to go do that. That's fine, but minimum 6. Okay. So method. I've got my front adverbial on straight away. Firstly, I know it's my front adverbial because I've got my comma in there. Build. That's my imperative verb. Build a fire pit and heat up a large cauldron over the flames. This is my expert advice. If you have a helpful house elf, ask them to construct the fire for you to save time. Okay, as my bossy verb, ask them to construct the fire for you to save time. Okay, that's my extra bit of expert advice. So I'm ticking off silver now with this one. I've got my front adverbial, I've got my bossy verbs, and I've got an if statement in there, and that helps me kind of give my expert advice. Okay, once the cauldron is heated up, there's my front adverbial this time. It's a bit longer, but once it's heated up, then I need to pour, that's my imperative verb, in 500 millilitres of mermaid's tears. Remember, I've got the apostrophe after the S because it's more than one mermaid, so it's mermaids, plural. Okay, and it's their tears, so it's a lot of mermaids, and it's their tears, so the apostrophe is after the S. Mermaid's tears, and bring them to a gentle simmer. Okay, that kind of gives me a good piece of advice for the person who's making this. They know that they need to bring it to a gentle simmer. Be very specific with your vocabulary if you can. Mermaid's tears are extremely tricky to get, so be careful not to spill any. Again, a bit of my expert advice there. So, I'll show you just the next bit and then you can get going. So pause now if you want to kind of use mine as an example for the first 2. But number 3 and 4, I'll show you these ones. Next, there we go, there's our front adverbial again. Next, scatter. I'm not just saying put. If I just keep saying put, it gets really boring and it turns into a list of just boring things. So try and use different vocabulary. Scatter a handful of python scales into the cauldron. They should. I've got my modal verb there. It's not part of my my bronze, silver and gold, but actually these are really useful. They should dissolve immediately, okay? And it's telling me when it's going to do it. Number 4, while the scales mix in the tears, there's my frontal adverbial with my comma, pluck the tail feather from a phoenix. You may, that's my mode of verb, you may want to wear protective gloves to do this because phoenixes have sharp beaks. Okay, so you've given them, it's that kind of talking from experience kind of thing. Okay, now I'm going to let you carry on with those then. Go forward, kind of, like I said, minimum of about 6 steps. I've done 9, so I've kind of I went a bit crazy with it, and I thought I'd keep going. Now, I got a bit carried away with my writing, and hopefully you do too, but minimum 6, and get your steps in there. Pause now. I've just got to hold it because it's going to fall. Pause now and give that a go, and come back and we'll go through the last bit. Okay, so then the bit at the end, the conclusion. I've got a very, very short conclusion just because I've written so much. I want to keep it nice and clear. I've ended my last one with finally, because that's a really good way to end it. Finally, it kind of makes you feel like you've got to the end of the race. Finally, use your wand to absorb the strike of lightning and zap it into the cauldron. This will make the potion invisible, like water. I've got my brackets for parentheses there, like water. I might say it's transparent, like water. Okay, and that's adding kind of the gold part to my writing here. Pour, facing the way. Pour it carefully into a small glass vial and pop the stopper in. Okay, and then at the end here, your potion is ready to be used and you become invisible. So now this is my conclusion. It's my last piece, my conclusion. Your potion is ready to be used now. Warning, now you might want to put a side effect or something like that, or something kind of a bit more creative, a bit more imaginative. The effects of the potion can wear off at any time. So you might be going along thinking you're invisible, and then poof, there you are. Okay, so I'm kind of adding that in, but you could have anything. The side effects might be that you, I don't know, burst into flames spontaneously, whatever it might be. That's up to you. Okay, so hopefully you have a good go at that. Use mine as inspiration. Remember, you can rewind and have a look at what I've got on mine. Just going to keep going. Have a look, once you've written everything, have a look at our Wilf and check back through and just think, yes, I've got a clear layout. Yes, I've got imperative verbs. Yes, I've got frontal adverbials. Have I got clear expert advice? My if and then statements, they're really useful. Have I got brackets for parentheses? Have I got relative clauses in? Okay, see if you can get that in to make it gold. I've just done that. And then once you've written, once you've gone through everything, have a check back through once you're happy. And then this is like an optional challenge. It's quite nice to have a challenge for those that kind of want to carry on with something. So an optional challenge is to perform your instructions. Kind of take inspiration from like a TV chef. Kind of you could dress up if you've got Harry Potter style things. I don't know, you might have a cloak at home, who knows. Or you could kind of pretend to be a wacky Willy Wonka style character and kind of talk through instructions and film it, have a go at filming it. If you're thinking, I'd quite like to perform it, but I don't want to do my instructions that I've written, you might want to have a go at doing a sport, dance or skill tutorial like they do on kind of those YouTube channels. You might want to have a go, and then you could maybe share it with your teacher and they could show the rest of the class when back at school. Okay, that'd be quite cool. But have a go at performing if you have done the task and you're happy with it. Okay, that's it from me. Get yourselves writing. Remember to rewind if you need to see different parts, but you're writing instructions today. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how you get on with it. Just before we go, remember to upload pictures onto Teams and we'll get them ticked off and you can get yourself a bit closer to the next badge. Okay, take care everyone. Enjoy your writing because that's the main thing. Enjoy it. And I shall see you soon.